There are two features when picking out a flat that can really make or break our outfits, especially if you're short like me. Let's jump right into a few examples. So in this first outfit, I have on a pair of slim-fitting straight leg jeans. They're a little bit of a crop, and I have on a black top. Now, my first instinct when I'm wearing a black top is to choose a black shoe. So the shoe that I have on in this example is just a flat mule type shoe. Your eye is immediately drawn down to the foot, and because it's that mule type of flat, it really is cutting my leg off right at the ankle. Now let's compare that with the next shoe that I'm showing. So the second shoe I'm showing is a sling back flat, and there's a big difference between these two shoes. And that difference is the vamp. The vamp on your shoe is this area on the top of the shoe. It means how far this top of the shoe comes up on your foot. So in that first example, I have on what is called a high vamp shoe. In the second example, I have on a low vamp shoe, which means there's less of this shoe covering my foot. It's exposing more skin. And what that does is it just helps elongate your leg, or it's just more of an extension of your leg, just to give the illusion that your legs are just a little bit longer. It's not being cut off right at the ankle as it does with this. Now in the third example, we can take this one step further and change the color of the shoe. So in the third example, I traded the black slingback flat for a flesh-toned flat in the same style. It has a low vamp, but look at the difference it makes. When you change that color from the black to the nude, the shoe just completely disappears, and there's no interruption in the visual line of your outfit, and it looks more balanced. There's nothing wrong with the black slingback. I really like this shoe, and I think that it works with the outfit, being that it's a lower vamp. But if you just wanted to take it a step further, create the illusion of even longer legs, then switch to a flesh-toned shoe. Now, if you don't like pointy toe flats, then you can also do a ballet flat like I'm showing in this next example. That works too. I know there's a lot of so-called rules about wearing pointed toes and, you know, at least an almond-shaped toe. I really think the two most important features, specifically when you're looking at a flat, is just make sure that it is low vamp and choose a flesh-toned shoe. Those two things are almost always going to work. You've probably stood in front of a mirror and really just kind of wondered why your outfit didn't look balanced, or it looked out of proportion, or just something just wasn't right. It's probably your shoes. So if you change to a low vamp or change to a flesh tone color shoe or sandal, it makes a big difference. You might also be saying the same thing about, you know, just regular loafers or different types of flats that aren't necessarily that open back heel or sling back. So we can look at this next example where I have a darker wash jean. It's a little bit longer, like a normal regular length jean. And you would think the black would look better with this jean because it's closer to the color family, being that it's a darker wash with the black shoe. But what I find when I'm wearing a high vamp, either loafer or some type of shoe with pants, is that they get stuck in the bottom of the hem of the leg, as you can see in both of these examples. And that may not be a concern for you. It drives me crazy because I think it distorts the balance of the outfit, and it's also just annoying, let's be honest. Before we get into the next look, I just wanted to ask you if you would kindly subscribe and like if you're getting value out of this content, and I thank you so much for doing that. Let's move on. So what I have found that works best for me when I'm wearing a regular loafer or any type of shoe that has a higher vamp, one, either roll up the pants or the jeans just a little bit so that your pants are sitting right at the ankle so that it's not bumping up against the top of the shoe, or pair these types of shoes with a fuller leg jean or pant. This would be a pant that where the leg of your pant would break closer to the toe of the shoe. That way it's not getting caught up in this top of the shoe right here. Okay, so let's move back to neutral toned shoes for just a minute. So I have this pair of, these are like a cognac little mule here, little flats. And you can see in this example, I'm pairing them with white jeans and a navy top. I actually love this color combination. And even though this color of shoe would be considered a neutral, I think because it's a darker neutral, it once again is drawing the eye right down to my foot and somewhat cutting my leg off at the ankle. Now, I do love this color combination, but I don't think this particular shoe is the best choice. Now, it's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. So in the second example, I showed a lighter toned neutral flat. And this one also has a high vamp on it. Now this look I think is better than the cognac flat, but I still feel like it's not quite there yet. Both of these options are okay. There's nothing wrong with those options, but what I like better is a lower vamp, flesh toned, as you see in this next example. And I think of all three of these examples, that one works best, or I find that I like it best on me. I think it sometimes helps to get a visual on how different types of flats and different colors of flats might change the outfit. So let's move on to the next example. Here I have a pair of flats on, but they have an ankle strap on them. Now when I put this example up to the next example that I'm showing you, both of these shoes have a low vamp, meaning the top of the foot is more exposed. But because that strap is right at the ankle, do you notice your eye goes directly to that strap? And it's a distraction, right? So we want to create less distraction. And I think personally that straps either on the ankle like that or even across the foot when you're short is a distraction to your entire outfit because your eye is drawn straight to it. So I think the better option is the second option, no strap, low vamp. And this outfit also works really well with a nude slingback, a ballet flat, any other nude and low vamp style shoe. So in this last example, I have another pair of white denim on. These are more of a trouser style denim and they're a little bit fuller of a leg. So I went ahead and put on those light neutral mules on that have a higher vamp on them. And I think they work, but they are still on the verge of wanting to get caught in that top part of the shoe there. So it works, definitely can do that. But in the next example, I traded that for a ballet flat. Now these can work really well too, especially if you can't wear a pointy toe, but you can notice because it's much more of a flesh tone shoe that it just disappears. Now in the last example is my favorite example, is the flesh tone pointed toe sling back. It has the low vamp, it has the pointed toe, it's not getting caught up in the bottom of my pant hem. It is my personal favorite. But I just want to reiterate that there's nothing wrong with any of these choices. I'm just showing the differences of the shoes and how they look in terms of what you're wearing. So I hope this video was helpful. Flats can be so tricky to style, especially when you're short. I actually find that they are probably the toughest shoe style for me to incorporate into my outfits. So I just wanted to share some things that work for me, and hopefully you can see the differences in the examples that I gave. But I appreciate you watching. I would love to hear your feedback in your comments below. If you have suggestions or any comments that you would like to add, please sound off down below. I love hearing from you guys. I will leave some more tips from different videos down below in case you're interested in some more tips for petite dressing. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.